Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me here. Today, I will speak about studying art exhibitions and the webs of networks they produce. Specifically, I will concentrate on the Czech department of the Austro-Hungarian Art and Art Industry Exhibition, which took place in 1899 in St. Petersburg. My research relies on exhibition catalogs, archival materials, and press reports. In this presentation, I will highlight connections between individual Czech artists, artistic institutions in Prague, Vienna, and St. Petersburg, and the governments of Imperial Russia and Austria-Hungary. Both Austria-Hungary and Russia participated in almost all world fairs and international art and art industrial exhibitions in Europe in the second half of the 19th century. Influenced by this trend, St. Petersburg and Moscow hosted a series of foreign national art shows at the end of the 1890s and the beginning of the 1900s. The Russian public visited Italian, German, English, French, and other foreign national art exhibitions. This intensive acknowledgement of foreign art led to the gradual adoption of new artistic trends in Russia and consequently the expansion of art from the Russian Empire into the West. The Austro-Hungarian Art and Art Industry Exhibition I will speak about was part of this series of national foreign art exhibitions, but it stands out among them due to its diplomatic and political purposes. The exhibition was a response to the rapprochement between Russia and Austria-Hungary aimed at preventing conflicts in the Balkans. In 1897, Franz Joseph, Emperor of Austria-Hungary, visited St. Petersburg, which led to a secret agreement that maintained the status quo in the Balkans. The initiative to organize the exhibition came from Russia, which also covered the cost of packing and transporting the works from Austria-Hungary. Thus, the exhibition organization started at the governmental level. The exhibition took place in the building of the esteemed Imperial Society for the Encouragement of the Arts. The extensive art show occupied not only the society's main hall, but also additional space in the society's museum. The organizers initially planned to display the exhibition in Moscow as well. However, the proposed space was too small to accommodate all the exhibits, and the exhibition in Moscow had to be canceled. Firstly, I will describe the Austro-Hungarian exhibition as a whole to give you an understanding of what it looked like, and then I will speak about the Czech department and finish by analyzing the web of connections it established. The exposition had two parts, artistic and industrial, which were split into smaller national sections. The fine art part consisted of 5 departments: Vienna, Prague, Krakow, Hungary, and Croatia, which included 449 works by 305 artists. The industrial part had departments from Vienna, Prague, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Hungary. Both parts showcased over 700 art objects from Austria-Hungary in total. I managed to discover a single photo of the exhibition published in a magazine. It shows the main hall. We can see that the organization follows a typical 19th century scheme in which paintings were placed close to each other and occupied the entire wall. The galleries running around the upper floor were devoted to graphic arts and small-scale oil paintings. Sculptural works were placed along the center. Here you can see the right wall of the main hall, which is divided between Vienna and Krakow. The end wall is devoted to Czech paintings. The paintings we see on the end wall are, of course, not all the artworks that the Prague department showed. The Prague artist section consisted of 38 artists and 46 paintings and graphic works, along with 7 sculptures. I would say that the Prague department showcased exclusively Czech national art, featuring Slavic artists, as I was able to investigate. Here you can see the full list of participants. Inevitably, the Prague entries to the Austro-Hungarian exhibition reflected the artistic climate of 1890s Prague, representing 2 generations of Czech artists. The so-called generation of the National Theatre, or who had worked in the second half of the 19th century on the decoration of the National Theatre in Prague, included Jakub Schikaneder, Emanuel Lischka, sorry if I mispronounced Czech names, Wojtek Hinais, and Bohuslav Schnir. 2 artist groups represented the 2nd generation of Czech artists, the Modernist Manes Association of Fine Artists, and the more conservative Union of Artists, who also included artists from the older generation. Czech writer and journalist Václav Krejčí wrote that there were 19 artists from the Manes Association and 15 artists from the Union of Artists. The exhibition documentation from the Künstlerhaus archive in Vienna allows us to acknowledge painting prices and the owners' names if they existed. In combination with archival materials, catalog entries in Russian and French, and reviews in the press, this documentation helped to identify some works displayed. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to find the current collections of some works. If any of you could help me with that, I will be pleased. Among the identified works was an original graphic work by Arnošt Hofbauer, a sketch of the cover design of the Vollne Smere magazine. Also, the was a painting by Ludek Marold, described by the Russian critic as a portrait of a child with a dog, a splendid broad painting with an elegantly treated drawing of an expressive face and extreme harmony of colors. The Prague department also showcased Joža Uprska's Ride of the Kings, painted in 1897, and I know that it's famous famous painting in Czech, which impressed one reviewer with its bright colors, especially red hues. There were also small sculptural works, such a bronze release titled Treasure by Stanislav Sucharda, and the plaster model of a statue of Saint Wenceslas by Bohuslav Schnir. The satirical magazine Strikaza published a page with caricatures that also are helpful for identification. Here you can see a caricature, and here is the original Twilight in Winter by Jakub Schikaneder. The second caricature of Reverie by Benesh Knupfa possibly depicts one of his Marines from the 1890s. This painting I found on the internet, and it closely resembles the picture from the magazine. The third caricature is Evening by Antonin Hudicek. It's similar to the painting Okor's Pont View from a private collection. The Prague department list of works from the Künstlerhaus archive and catalog entries indicate that 3 paintings from the Prague Picture Gallery were at the exhibition in St. Petersburg. I suppose that the picture gallery in Rudolfinum was meant. Moreover, all 3 paintings had to be sent from St. Petersburg directly to Paris to participate in the Austrian art department at the World Fair in 1900s. This indicates the high level of the exhibition in St. Petersburg and its importance for the organizers. Interestingly, a reproduction of Lishka's widower appeared in 1900 in Russian magazine «Живописное обозрение», which means pictorial review. Obviously, works exhibited in St. Petersburg passed a strict selection process. We know that a special committee was established in Prague for this purpose. The president of the committee was Wojtek Hinais, a highly respected academic painter, distinguished professor at the Academy of Fine Arts in Prague, and a founding member of the Vienna Secession. He exhibited 3 paintings himself, one of which, Judgment of Paris, can be seen in the photo of the exhibition. It was the most expensive painting in the Prague section, priced 15,000 florins, which is around to 160,000 euros now. Many critics, as well as an author from the Strikaza magazine, noticed another painting by Hinais, a portrait of Josef Hlavka, which was much cheaper. Its price was 750 florins, around 13,000 euros nowadays. And this painting I have seen in the Prague National Gallery yesterday. One more painting, a sketch of the poster for the Czechoslovak ethnographic exhibition of 1895 by Hinais, was displayed in St. Petersburg. Interestingly, this poster had been shown in St. Petersburg 2 years earlier at the International Poster Exhibition. Organizing an art exhibition abroad creates an international network that connects individual artists, museums, artistic societies, and governmental bodies. I will further focus on the web of connections within the framework of the Austro-Hungarian exhibition. The official organizer of the exhibition was St. Petersburg's Imperial Society for the Encouragement of the Arts, an old and influential organization devoted to art promotion. Its chairwoman, Princess Evgenia Maximilianovna of Oldenburg, through the Austro-Hungarian ambassador in Russia, proposed organizing the exhibition to the Austrian government in the spring of 1899. The Imperial and Royal Foreign Ministry instructed 2 Austrian ministries, the Austrian Ministry of Culture and Education and the Austrian Ministry of Trade, to arrange the exhibition. And the Austrian Ministry of Culture and Education oversaw the organization of the artistic department. The Vienna Artist Society Künstlerhaus was the next in this hierarchy. Künstlerhaus was responsible for the entire Austrian artistic department, including the Vienna, Krakow, and Prague sections. The Prague artist section created its own exhibition committee based in Prague with Wojtek Hinais as a president. Hinais was in touch with the Künstlerhaus secretary Edwin Klobasa, who handled all the organizational issues. Moreover, the artworks for the Prague department were first sent to the Vienna Künstlerhaus. From there, they were shipped to St. Petersburg together with artworks for the Vienna and Krakow sections. Thus, Vienna played the role of a mediator between Prague and St. Petersburg. However, there were also direct connections between the society in St. Petersburg and Prague. One important connection was Nikolai Sobka, the secretary of the Imperial Society for the Encouragement of the Arts. He visited Prague to negotiate the composition of the Prague department. The second connection was Gustav Schmorens, a professor at the City's School of Applied Arts in Prague. He came to St. Petersburg as an official delegate and simultaneously represented the artistic and industrial sections and the Prague department and also the Austrian Ministry of Culture and Education. Gustav Schmorens, along with Franz Thiele, a delegate from Vienna department, painters Antoni Petrovsky and Vladimir Stettmeyer from Krakow, representative of Hungary, including two directors of Hungarian museums and artists Lajos Bruk, as well as sculptor Rudolf Valdec and critic Dusan Plavčić from Croatia took part in official events and guided a tour of the Austro-Hungarian exhibition for the royal family. Besides the artistic department, there was another significant part of the exhibition, the industrial department. We know from the reviews that it occupied the whole floor of the building and gave the impression of a large store. This was not accidental, as the Austrian Ministry of Trade oversaw the industrial department with the purpose of establishing a strong foothold in the Russian market. I didn't manage to find much information on the selection committees for the industrial department, except that the responsible institution in Vienna was the Royal Austrian Museum of Art and Industry. However, the mechanism for work selection and shipping was the same. The Prague committee sent works to Vienna, to the Royal Museum of Art and Industry, from where they were shipped to St. Petersburg. The Prague Industrial Department showcased various applied art objects sourced from manufacturers, schools of applied arts, and the Museum of Decorative Arts in Prague. Reviewers wrote that the industrial department was very popular among the Russian public, and many products were purchased. The fine arts department was not as successful. In the Prague section, only one work, Roses, by Anna Budova-Suchardova, Stanislav Sucharda's sister, was purchased for 100 florins, which is now around 1,700 euros. This work attracted the caricaturist's interest, but I did not identify the original. The Austro-Hungarian exhibition closed in January 1900. In February, the magazine Art and Artistic Industry, belonging to the Imperial Society for the Encouragement of the Arts, published an essay on the history of Czech painting and sculpture. Czech writer, journalist, and critic František Václav Krejčí wrote an essay about Czech art in Russian language, specifically for this occasion, focusing exclusively on the Slavic art. In the Czech lens, Krejčí constructed a narrative of Czech national art history from Jaroslav Čermák and Josef Manes to Alfons Mucha and Josef Šusa. Thus, while studying the Austro-Hungarian exhibition arrangement, I reconstructed an international web of connections between governmental bodies, artistic associations, and artists. These findings demonstrate the artistic connections between Austria-Hungary and Imperial Russia at the turn of the 20th century. Despite the Vienna Künstlerhaus and the Royal Austrian Museum of Art and Industry maintaining the whole organizational process, there were direct interactions between Prague and St. Petersburg. Nikolai Sopka visited Prague to discuss the Prague department. Gustav Schmorens visited St. Petersburg as an official representative, and František Václav Krejčí published an essay about national Czech art in the magazine of the Imperial Society. I hope that I have also managed to show that studying exhibitions of national art abroad can provide valuable information on honors, acquisitions, prices, and as I have found, even damages during shipments. Thank you.
So many thanks for the enriching contribution. That maybe, because I think that maybe among Czech art historians, this exhibition and the Czech participation in it is maybe not very well known. So it's very informative and interesting for us. And I open the discussion.
Thank you very much for this interesting lecture. I have one comment and one question. The caricature from Croatia, it was work by Bela Čikoš-Sesija, Atene Psihe. It is now in, okay, you know. And how many, it is very interesting for us to hear that Dusan Plavšić and Valdez were among organizers. And how many Croatian artists were exhibited at this exhibition?
Not much, around 20 or less.
It's a lot.
I don't remember the number, but yeah, maybe 18, something like that.
Okay.
But they had their own room for their own art. So they didn't exhibit it in that hall that I showed, but they had their own special exhibition.
Very interesting. Thank you very much.
Any other comments, for example, to the exhibited paintings?
There is a question.
I have one question to the right at the beginning of your presentation. You introduced the different sections, Vienna, Prague, Krakow, Croatia, and Hungary. Why is there a difference between cities and countries?
That is a very good question. Because the political dividing of Austria-Hungary, for example, Krakow, Prague, Vienna, they were Austrian, Cisleithanian part, and Hungary, and Croatia was a part of Hungary. And I think that Krakow, Prague, and Vienna, they were shown their exhibition as a one entity, and Croatia, not like that. Hungary had its own exhibition, like its own department, and Croatia was separately exhibited.
Thank you.
I have a question my own. Did anyone from the Czech artists or from the Czech representative of Czech culture or artistic committee visited the exhibition? Do we have any surviving documents or EGA documents that reflect this visit, or we don't know anything about it?
Not from the, I will not find, not from the exhibition. Only Gustav Schmorens was a representative of Czech art there. I haven't seen anyone. Maybe Václav František Krejčí, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything in archives and press about it.